Just starting the live. Happy Thanksgiving! Woo! Kelsey, say hi. Thanksgiving in Colorado. Say hi.
Hello.
Hello, Dad, say hello. We're live.
What up?
We're just live. Babe, say hi.
Hello, hello, hello.
Mom, she did all the cooking, thank God. Because I was struggling. Couldn't even make the lasagna right, but it's okay. Well, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I hope you all have a great time with your family. I'm glad my family's here. Woo! Kelsey, say hi. Kelly, say hi. I know, right? Thank you, Mom, for cooking. Woo! Tour. Oh, yeah, you cooked the goat?
Thank you, Lord.
Aww. They flew all the way out from New Jersey to be here. I am so excited.
On a cold February night in 2021, the quiet streets of Colorado Springs were pierced by a call that would forever change a family, 2 children, and an entire community. It was 1:00 a.m. when police rushed to South Circle Drive, answering what they believed was a domestic disturbance. But what they found inside the modest townhouse was not just tragedy, it was horror. Blood pooled across the hallway floors, walls marked with violence, and at the center of it all lay the body of a young woman, a mother whose life had been cut short in the most brutal way imaginable. That woman was 30-year-old Tashiana Blake, a realtor, a daughter, a sister, and most importantly, the loving mother of 2 little girls who had seen far more than any child should ever see. And standing just a few feet away, drenched in blood, was her husband, 34-year-old Army Sergeant Dermot Blake, the man she had once trusted to protect her, now the very person accused of taking her life. This is one of many heartbreaking crime stories I cover. If you want to hear more real-life cases like this, please subscribe to Viral Crime Stories. Your support means the world. Tashiana Blake was born on June 12, 1992, vibrant, ambitious, and full of life. She had Jamaican roots and carried with her a spirit that lit up every room. She wasn't just a realtor, she was a dreamer. She built her career from the ground up, often posting on social media about the joy of helping families find their forever homes. She also dabbled in credit repair, fitness coaching, and financial referrals, always hustling to provide the best life for her 2 girls. Her daughters, just 7 and 5 years old, were her entire world. Friends say she never missed a chance to celebrate their milestones, birthdays filled with balloons, social media captions filled with love, and pictures of their laughter that she proudly shared online. To the outside world, Tashiana was living the dream, a happy family, a blossoming career, a future filled with promise. But behind that dream was a marriage cracking under pressure.
From social media, 30-year-old Tashiana Blake's life seemed ideal. Her career in real estate taking off, her marriage loving.
Babe, say hi.
Hello, hello, hello.
She met Dermot Blake, a fellow Jamaican, who had joined the U.S. Army and was stationed at Fort Carson as a communications sergeant. At first glance, Dermot seemed disciplined, reliable, a man devoted to his family and career. The 2 fell in love quickly, married in 2015, and began building a life together. But love does not always guarantee happiness. By 2019, just 4 years after their wedding, things had begun to unravel. The Blakes filed for divorce that July, only to withdraw the filing months later. On the very day they filed, police were called to their home after neighbors reported a domestic disturbance. Officers arrived to find both Dermot and Tashiana claiming the fight was only verbal, but someone in the background whispered the truth. Dermot had hit her. Still, no charges were filed, and the case was quietly closed. Like many women, Tashiana likely hoped things would get better. that maybe the man she once loved would change. She gave him another chance. Fast forward to the night of February 20th, 2021. Dermot was the one who dialed 911. His voice was cold, almost detached, as he admitted he had shot his wife. When officers arrived, they found him covered in blood. But the horror didn't stop there. Sitting silently on the couch were his 2 daughters, their innocent faces frozen in shock, having just witnessed the unimaginable. The children's testimony would later reveal details too chilling for words. Around midnight, the older daughter woke to the sound of gunfire. She described how her father ordered her and her little sister out of their room. When they stepped into the hallway, what they saw would scar them forever. Their mother lying on the floor, drenched in blood. They said their father stood over her, demanding she apologize. And when she whispered, "I'm sorry," he shot her in the head. The little girls said he fired again and again, only stopping when one of them begged, "Daddy, please stop." Police quickly secured the home, arresting Dermot on the spot. The crime scene was recorded, the blood spatter analyzed, and the heartbreaking statements of the children documented. Investigators confirmed 6 bullets struck Tashiana, with 1 more lodging in the wall behind her. The brutality left no doubt that this wasn't a mistake or an accident. It was deliberate. Officers pulled footage from the family's doorbell camera, audio evidence that confirmed the events stretched out over several minutes, not a sudden outburst as the defense would later claim. Every piece of evidence pointed to premeditation, to control, to rage. In November 2022, nearly 2 years later, the case went to trial. Dermot pleaded not guilty, his defense team insisting this was the act of a drunken man who lost control in a heated argument. They even claimed the prosecution withheld evidence from Tashiana's phone, suggesting she may have been having an affair, attempting to cast her in a negative light. But the judge dismissed the motion, noting the defense had access to the phone data all along. For 10 days, the jury listened to testimony, police officers describing the bloody crime scene, forensic experts detailing the gunshots, and, most devastating of all, the words of 2 little girls who had lost everything that night. The defense tried to argue for manslaughter or second-degree murder, but they never once denied Dermot had pulled the trigger. Their only hope was to lessen his punishment. It didn't work. The jury deliberated for just 5 hours before delivering their verdict, guilty of first-degree murder and 2 counts of child abuse.
Heather, 34-year-old Dermot Blake is sitting in a jail cell here tonight. It's where he'll stay through at least mid-December, accused of murdering his wife in front of their 2
use. The courtroom fell silent as the judge delivered the sentence. Life in prison without parole, plus additional time for child abuse. Dermot showed no remorse, no apology, nothing but silence. The contrast was striking. On one side sat a man who destroyed his family. On the other side sat Tashiana's parents, siblings, friends, and her 2 little girls, now orphans in the cruelest sense of the word. During sentencing, Tashiana's loved ones spoke through tears. They described her as a light, a woman full of love, laughter, and generosity, someone who worked tirelessly not only for herself but for her children. They told the court how Dermot had stolen not only Tashiana's life, but the innocence of her daughters. One family member said he couldn't handle the fact that Tashiana was a bright light he could never dim. The funeral was a devastating farewell. Friends described it as both heartbreaking and healing. The church overflowed with mourners, from relatives who flew in from Jamaica to neighbors who barely knew her, but felt the impact of her story. Flowers surrounded her casket, and her daughters clung tightly to their grandparents' hands. Strangers donated, communities prayed, and love poured in from every corner, proving that Tashiana's light hadn't been extinguished after all. It lived on in the people she touched. Now her 2 little girls are being raised by their grandparents. They live each day with the trauma of what they saw, but also with the love of a family determined to protect them. Therapists, teachers, and relatives rally around them, trying to give them back some piece of the childhood that was stolen. Their healing journey will take years, perhaps a lifetime, but they carry with them the memory of a mother who loved them fiercely. Please subscribe to Viral Crime Stories. Your support means the world. Please stay safe.